Hey guys, I'm the Fact Freak, and let me introduce you to Daniel on our awareness post. Now, he made the following confession on the TikTok live. I think the best way to deal with it is just for me to jump in. Now, I've been tagged in this video a lot of Daniel here talking to, I believe this lady's a prison officer or an ex-prison officer, something like that. And I haven't had time to fully watch it. However, I did search up his name, and what I discovered about him will probably shock you, to be honest, guys. But let's first react to this. And why is this being put on my radar by so many people?
Kind of at a stage now where they've interviewed me and they've interviewed the little girl.
Wait, what?
But I don't know where I stand, where I go from here. Am I likely to be going to prison? Am I likely not? And because I also have special needs.
Okay.
Now, I did look into Daniel, and he has ADHD.
So I'm unsure what grounds I stand and what I don't stand in this, that and the other.
Do you understand what's right and what's wrong? Then you understand that you are compos mentis enough to be charged for whatever the hell this is.
I'm really shocked. I wasn't expecting you to come on here, and I don't know. First of all, I don't know if you're guilty or if you're not. How old are you?
23.
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm going to refuse to comment. I'm really, really sorry, Daniel.
So I don't understand why she's refusing to comment. You're not under a police investigation.
If you're innocent, then I can only apologise for what you're going through. But if I was just to give you any advice, listen to the police, listen to your bail, and just do what they tell you to do, matey. Because
the issue is, if I do get sentenced, will I likely to be going to a prison, or will I be likely to go into a...
If it's against a little girl or whatever it is you said at the start, you'll be going to a VP wing, which is, you know, the N wing, as we know, where they put the pedalos. But yeah, I mean, I know of people who have ADHD and things like that, and they're still on a normal wing. So I don't think you'd necessarily be on that for that reason.
If you get found guilty of sexually abusing a minor, is the person a minor?
Yes.
If you get found guilty of that, then you will go to prison. And it's as simple as that. And if...
You should have not commented, because, like, I am sick to death of hearing how many people who commit crimes against children get suspended sentences in the UK, because it happens so often, and no jail time is served. So saying that if you're found guilty you'll definitely be doing jail time, I mean, that's not sadly correct.
I'm not going to judge you, because I don't know if you're innocent or guilty, and you get found guilty of it. Let me tell you, in my personal opinion, sex offenders, there's a lot of time that they get away with it because there's no evidence. So if there's evidence,
she's right about that,
and you get found guilty of it, then unfortunately I am on the side of the law, that they wouldn't have found you guilty if there wasn't any evidence. Unfortunately, I can't really comment any more on that. I
don't know why she can't comment. This is somebody who's like a prison officer or an ex-prison officer. It would just be as good as taking legal advice from some random YouTuber on the internet. Like, I don't understand why she can't comment.
If it's not true, you've got nothing to worry about, and that's the comment I'll leave you on. Okay?
Yeah, but if I, because of my nature of disability and everything, will I go...
Daniel's disabilities. Daniel has ADHD, dyspraxia, and hearing loss. That's not a free pass to fiddle with kids, unfortunately. If you know the difference between right and wrong, and that you shouldn't have done it, then you are legally able to be hauled over the coals.
Into the VP... Will I go into a VP wing?
you'll go to a VP wing because you're an offender against kids. First of all, regardless of whether they have to like decide about you know, whether you're there because of any difficulties.
You already sound almost as if you're accepting that you're going to prison, Daniel.
I'm not accepting that I'm going.
You know
I'm
what?
just because of my.
I agree with her. The line of questioning does sound like he's saying he's guilty, and he knows he's guilty, and he knows that's where he'll probably end up, in prison.
The way I am, I always think the worst case scenario.
Okay. I don't know if I feel comfortable sitting on here talking to somebody that has been accused of this, like I said.
Fair enough.
You know, it sounds to me like you're almost accepting that you're guilty.
I totally agree.
I'm not accepting I'm guilty because I know deep down I've not done this. Deep down I know I've done it, but
Deep down I know I've done it, you just said.
Deep down you know you haven't done it.
Yeah.
Then you've got nothing to worry about, because if
You just said it in two different ways, right?
haven't
Because
done
my issue
anything,
is,
and I'm
my
not
issue is,
talking even physically done something, you know, you can groom a child without touching them, you can groom a child just by contacting them. If you haven't sent an inappropriate message, an inappropriate phone call, you haven't touched that person in any way, then you have got nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
yeah, just
I
wanted to
would
come
say
in
that. If you were not guilty, there won't be any evidence, and like I've just explained to you, for sex offenders to be found guilty, that there would have to be evidence.
Yeah, 100%. Well, anybody to be found guilty, they would have to have evidence to back it up.
So if there isn't evidence and you haven't done anything, then don't worry. But if you're worrying, and you already sound to me like you are, and the fact that you're saying, and again, I'm not judging you, but a lot of sex offenders will use the line of disability. I've got a disability.
100%. We react to stings on Twitch. Make sure to follow me there, TheFactFreak. And so many of them use that excuse. Don't matter, still convicted.
Or I've got a learning difficulty, and I didn't know better. You know, you do know it's wrong, don't you, Daniel?
oh yeah, 100%. I know what's right from wrong.
I hope that if he's under investigation right now, the police see this video.
Okay, then like I say, I'll leave it on that comment.
Because he probably has bail restrictions around this as well. And he might not even be able to discuss this, you know, in this sort of way. That might break a bail restriction.
If you do, but I really wasn't expecting that sort of conversation, that sort of guest. Again, you know, I know people that have been
people are saying on here, ask him if I've been to jail before, because I know what the VP wing is.
Okay.
I only know that because my dad works in a prison.
Okay, well,
Hold on a minute. If your dad works in a prison, why are you asking her these questions? I'm sure that's just what's gone through her head.
I find that really strange that you're jumping on my live to ask me advice in front of 1,000 people when you could sit and have a coffee with your dad and ask him all the questions.
Exactly. Doesn't make sense.
He doesn't do the same role as you did. He does a completely different role.
Okay, I was only a landing officer. I don't work with OMU or probation. I wouldn't have a clue on sentencing guidelines. So all I can talk to you about really is the regime and things like that. I know about the VP block. Every single prisoner gets asked when they come into prison, do you see yourself as a vulnerable prisoner, or does your offence make you vulnerable?
Yeah.
So you will have the option, if you go to prison, of going on to the VP block, Daniel, if that is the case.
I will, okay, yeah. Then what, right, if...
Daniel, I'm really, really sorry to cut in. I've given you more than enough time. I'm going to let you go.
She feels so uncomfortable, and I don't blame her.
Okay, but I hope that everything works out right for you if you are innocent. Okay?
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Speak to your dad, bye-bye.
Now, what an absolutely insane thing to confess on a TikTok live. And if you Google his name, you'll find lots about him. It says in this particular one, my name is Daniel, I am 20 years old, and I have learning difficulties. He has ADHD, dyspraxia and hearing loss. Now obviously there's lots of information about him to do with professionally running and being part of this. But like I say, you can go onto Google and there is loads about him competing and helping out with running. I mean, there's literally, we found GoFundMes and all sorts of different things about him. I mean, we also found his Twitter. Now his Twitter seems to have been inactive and last used around 2012, which would probably make him a child at the time, or at least in secondary school in the UK. Now you'll see that he only seems to be messaging and liking his own comments between him and this other person. Now if I have a look, there's stuff like trying to add them on Facebook, I love you, and I think they said we need to get out to know each other, please. Honestly, it's people saying that I love you, will you go out with me? Maybe not understanding boundaries at that age yet, who knows? And of course I'll just highlight the way he's titled it. Now of course if I search him up on Facebook, that's a whole other ball game. Now you can see he has absolutely loads of Facebook profiles, which, you know, can sometimes be a sign of a wrong'un. Not always, obviously. Now in 2021 he was saying he was engaged after being in this relationship, I assume, since 2020. But the statuses get stranger. Not that one. Here we go. Now, of course, he introduces himself into a lot of groups. He's joined a lot of groups, but then we get to moments like this. Why is my life so hard to love at the moment? Wish I could restart all again. I've really had enough. Mum has gone back into hospital. My girl can't come down this week as everyone is ill. It really has made me upset. Why does it all happen at the same time in my life? Now it said that as we go on, there's a lot more. Now this pregnancy symptoms group. Hello, my girlfriend and me are trying for a baby. It will be her second, my first. We had last week when her on ovulation. Honestly, reading these sentences are driving me insane. When her ovulation period, she started bleeding yesterday and it was transparent. Today it was red. Can she still be pregnant? She wasn't due to start her, TMI. Now we've got one here. I'm fed up of being the person I am. It's now time for a change into a new person. I don't know what some of this, why is life so shit? Happy Valentine's Day to the best person in the world. I love you so much. There is no better person in the world other than you. I can't wait to see you this weekend and my little girl. Here we go. Here's another one. I don't know what this is to do with that. Here's some more advice. Right, need advice. Me and my fiance are getting married next September. We don't live together and not sure we will be before we get married. Is this acceptable to do? I've no idea what that means. Let's just delve into this. Living together before marriage is always good to do, but if you don't, you don't. You love someone and want to spend your life with them. Doesn't matter. Well, yes and no. Christ. If you two trust each other to get to that level, go for it. But distance is it F's relationships and marriages. Well, we are looking, but we don't want to rent. You should be... I really don't understand here. Lots and lots of issues, but obviously saying that he doesn't live with that person currently. Is this the person? Is this the child that this guy was talking about on live? I don't know, and I don't mean the person he's in a relationship with. He's saying that person has a child. Is it something to do with that? I have no idea. Pregnancy weird and easy to conceive. My girlfriend thinks she's had her period 2 weeks ago. All stopped like normal, did a test negative, but now is having pain. I mean, my God. Like I say, there's lots of stuff to do with them running and everything like that. Asking when the best time is. I mean, why is renting? Oh, God. Blind reaction. I didn't know that was going to happen. Can someone tell me what the white dot is on my foot? It's quite sore to walk on, but still train. Quick. No. Good God. I mean, if this doesn't show that somebody maybe doesn't know what's going on, then I don't know what does. But you see, this is somebody who is an adult and somebody who knows the right from wrong and clearly states it in that sort of confession or admittance on that live stream. But I suppose with this one, it's up to you guys. What do you think? Do you think that was the confession of somebody who's done something wrong? Or do you think somebody misguided? Tell me in the comments below. I did try and reach out to you, Daniel, and I did try and reach out to your family as well, but nobody has returned my messages. Right, make sure to like this video, guys, and I'll catch you later.